Hello and welcome to another episode of A Tonic for Lunacy. I am your host, Donna, and today I am going to give you a little bit of a snippet from my most recent Human Design Shadow summer school class. This is class number 6. It's our final class, unless you bought the bundle and then you receive the additional format energy class. But this class is on body basics, it's on health and wellness, and it does not include variables, so it's a little bit of a different understanding of health and wellness in the body graph. One thing that I talk about is, well, let me give you some of the things that I talk about here. Let's see, we're going to talk about rave biology. Rave biology is actually the work of Martin Grassinger, and he did do this work, some of it with Ra. And this is the importance of format energy and how it affects our nutritional needs. So we'll talk more about format energy and what that means for what we eat, for our actual nutrition. Whereas that determination variable, PHS, that a lot of people look at is how we eat and how we process information. So this is more of the what. So that is really interesting. And then we have, let me see, we're going to talk about part 2, which is going to be my bonus health lesson. That is the emotional system, which is the snippet I'm about to give you. The health channels, we're going to talk about Saturn, the centers in the body, and some health nuances. And then finally, I'm going to take you a little bit into design versus personality and what that means for health and wellness. So I hope you join me for class 6. Obviously, there will be a link to register for this class. But without further ado, let me give you this little snippet into the emotional system. Okay, the emotional system, if we have a defined emotional center, and these are the channels that go down to the root. So it's going to be also a defined root if you have the full channel. So the human emotional system is actually about love. It's sex and food. So the 1949 is going to be the need to have the stocked fridge, to know that when you're ready to eat, that the food is there. This is all about resources. And if you feel like the resources that you need are not there, it's very easy to kind of get thrown into a tizzy and to eat emotionally. So if you have the 1949, just the 19, just the 49, and you find yourself being an emotional eater, and we can even say that, yeah, let's talk. It could be also to the spleen, but that's something a little bit different. So let's do the 1949. If you have the 1949, and then also if you have the 3742, we can play with that as well. That this is going to be all about having the correct resources. And if you feel like you are unstable in your life or you don't have the correct resources, you are more susceptible to emotional eating. So all of the connections that we have from the root to the solar plexus, it's really, really important for emotional regulation practices, for daily emotional regulation practices. Now, any of these channels that you have are going to naturally confuse love/sex with food. Am I just looking for love, or am I actually hungry? Am I hungry, or am I just trying to avoid this person, avoid this thing, this love, this sex, right? So it's really important to understand your intention for why you're eating what you're eating, or why you're loving what you're loving. The 3955 all the way up to the 1222 is going to be the emotional eater more than the other ones. This is highly, highly, highly emotional. 55 is the most emotional. This is eating disorders that are often related to love. So think about trauma, right? One of our core needs as a child is to receive love from our caregivers naturally. If you didn't get this and you have the 39.5 or the 39 or the 5 or the 12, the 22, how is this affecting your current nutritional intake? How is this affecting what you're holding on to here, right? Or all around your body if you have excess fat? This is about eating. Oh, something happened. This is about eating when you are in the mood. Okay, so we want to eat when we are in the mood. If you have the 3955 or the 1222, most likely to have eating disorders that are actually more about love. Am I receiving the love, the recognition, right? And you can look at some of your undefined centers or some of your other weak points or places of conditioning to know why this is coming up. The 4130 is desire based on hunger. What the 4130 needs is a variety in their diet. They need excitement. They desire to have different experiences, all the way up to the 3635, right? They desire to try new things, to do new things, novelty. So they need a lot of variety in their diet. Okay. So the 1949 needs to have food in their fridge, in their cabinets to avoid overeating, right? Which doesn't make sense, but it's true. They need to know that the resources are there. The 3955 all the way up to the 1222, this is the emotional eater. They need to eat when they're in the mood. They need to know what is love, what is food, right? They need to understand what it feels like to actually be hungry when they're in the mood to eat, not just because somebody asked them to come and eat with them. The 4130 needs a large variety of food in their diet. Okay. I hope you enjoyed that. There is so much more where this came from. So I hope that you join us for class 6. I'm going to drop the link in the show notes or in whatever notes, wherever you're watching this. Please make sure to check out some of our other classes that were available for summer school. And drum roll, please. We are now accepting applications for the Human Design Shadow Training. That is a 6-month-long program into the psychology of the body graph. We do all of this on a deep, deep level. I help you understand the psychology of the body graph, trauma, shadow work, conditioning, deconditioning, healing, all of it, how to find it in the body graph for yourself and for your clients. I'm going to teach you how to do shadow readings through human design, how to be the best fucking human design coach and reader out there. I have tips and I have tricks, and we are getting into it. Applications are now open, and I will drop that link as well. I love you. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.